Yes, my people, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be doing a review of my Ramadan this year and also letting you know about the changes coming to this channel as well as to my TikTok, what sort of content to expect for the foreseeable. Week 1, the first 7 days of Ramadan, I was actually away for work. My goodness, was it a tough week. It was a tough week just off the basis of like working and fasting at the same time. You're pushing your body to its limits because you go from starting with like your regular eating schedule, your regular sleeping schedule, to now completely changing it. So I really had to adjust. By the end of the week, I was back home, I was back in London, and I felt more at peace because I was in my environment. Week 2, I had met a supporter. Shout out Emma. She gave me my first Quran, which still to me is crazy. It's still mind blowing. It's still mind boggling. It's my first ever time reading the Quran, and that moment there is up there with one of my favorite moments. Meeting Emma, but then also submerging myself into the book, going into it with an open mind, just kind of go into it with like an open heart. It was great. I feel like week 2 was a very good week. Because again, I was adjusting to the new schedule now of like, all right, cool. I have to record every day. I have to wake up at a certain time. I have to be done with editing by a certain time so I can get, say, like 4 hours, sometimes 3 hours, sometimes 2 hours sleep to then wake up for sahur and do it all over again. Yeah, week 3. Week 3 was an interesting week because in that week, I tried Somali food for the first time, which was incredible. That's when that week as well, the third week, well, I did my first reaction video, which was a Dr. Omar Suleiman vid, and I learned quite a lot. I learned a lot more about Islam than I did before. Yeah, that kind of opened my mind to how incredible Islam is. To be fair, again, with it being my third Ramadan, I already knew how beautiful Islam was, but this was a different way to learn about Islam, like watching videos, and I didn't do that before. I didn't read the Quran before. I was just fasting. The last week of Ramadan, I went to observe Isha and Taraweeh. I skipped in week 1. Me and my boy Peter, shout out Peter, my brother for life. He took me to observe my first prayer in a mosque. That's the first time I've ever, actually no, that's the first time I ever stepped in a mosque and observed a prayer. I've been in mosque before. Like I said, when I was in Turkey, I had the privilege of going to see a mosque, and yeah, that was also incredible. But this time around, this was my first time witnessing prayers happening in a mosque, and that was so eye-opening, man. Like, that was an experience. I was completely taken aback by how peaceful it was, how together everyone is. That element of it was incredible. But observing Isha and Taraweeh was a different feeling in terms of witnessing the dedication, witnessing what it takes in order to fulfill your praying 5 times a day and sticking it out. Like, it was, yeah, it was wild. In that week as well, which is week 4, I got interviewed by a journalist who was pretty much researching and speaking to other non-Muslims about why they're partaking in it and their reasons for it. And that was also a surreal experience because initially I was a bit skeptical. I was a bit standoffish about even doing it, but now I realize the beauty in actually sharing my thoughts and sharing my reasons for even doing this. Again, people still have negative aspects to me even doing this, and I mean, I kind of expected it when doing this, but it's one of them things where I prefer not to be naive. So things like this, if I can submerge myself in and around it, especially how I have Muslim friends, it's like, why not? Like, what is the bad about it? And then to conclude, I pretty much just reacted to more scholars, to more speakers, Omar Suleiman, Dawa Man, Mohammed Hoblos. Each of those scholars, each of those men, they had a very different approach, but they relayed their message in a great way, in different ways, but ways that I could digest what they were saying. That was also a surreal experience, just, you know, again, deliberately submerging myself into learning about a new religion. I wasn't born into it, but I'm choosing to learn about it. So yeah, I'm a way more improved person now than I was at the beginning because I have more knowledge. I've learned something new, and I know a lot of people are asking me if I'm gonna revert, but the honest question is no. With this being my third one, now that it's done, it's like the work doesn't stop here. My good habits that I've picked up continue. I'm not gonna pick up all my bad habits now. I'm a way better person. After this experience, it just transforms you, elevated. And not elevated in the sense of you're better than anyone, but just elevated within yourself. It's like you've shed your old self. So in terms of the changes in my channel, I'll be doing content that I watch. So a lot of that stuff is gym content, lifestyle content, gaming content, live streams, challenges, things like that. That's the sort of content that I like to watch on a daily basis. And that's the sort of content that I want to put out there, just with my own little spin and bring my own personality in. And so if that's the sort of content for you, then stick around, you know. But if not, I can understand. You might want to see me continue doing the Islam content and things like that, but I think it will be disingenuous if I do continue it. I think at that point it would be forced. It wouldn't be organic. And I'm someone who likes to be organic. I'm someone who likes to be true to themselves. So yeah, with that being said, I just want to thank everyone for their support. I want to thank everyone for their love. You've made this Ramadan. This is 100% the best Ramadan that I've been a part of. And I give thanks that I even decided to put it online, because I've touched shoulders. I've communicated with people all over the world. It's really, you can kind of tell in my energy right now, I'm completely grounded. I'm completely 10 toes down. I'm centered, you know what I mean? And I feel like that feeling, that energy isn't gonna rub off so quickly. And I'm just looking forward to, like I said, keeping up the good habits that I've learned, spreading more positive energy, being more focused, being more diligent, being more purpose driven, being more intentional. And yeah, my people, that is another day. That is another video complete. Again, if the content that I've listed isn't for you, that's okay. I understand. You don't have to be here. But for the ones who are staying, I appreciate you. And I hope you're here to see the foreseeable for this channel. You're here to see the foreseeable. And yeah, big up everyone. I'll catch you in the next video.